Today we're gonna do an epic review of the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. In this video, I'm gonna pack the bag out. We're gonna talk about its pros and its cons, and you're gonna wanna stick around to the end of this video. Reason being, if you're not quite sold on this being your dream bag, I'll make a few alternative bag recommendations that are gonna be similar, but offer a couple of different things, because ultimately our goal here at Nomatic is to help you find the best backpack for your needs. Let's talk about the gist of the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. Bellroy is an Australian carry company, known for making very urban, but like sophisticated in kind of like their own quirky way gear. And this is very exciting because this is a part of their new venture into travel gear, something that they didn't really do in the past. And this is their first bag that has expansion. There's some pros and some cons with expansion though. We'll talk about those a bit later in the video. But let's talk about some of the top features of the bag. It's got a very beautiful and very classy traditional bag silhouette. A top drop admin pocket with Bellroy's stunning design and internal fabrics. Suitcase style opening, a bit of internal organization and compression. A half moon laptop sleeve with its own dedicated compartment and some really beefy shoulder straps and back panelage happening. But really, I think the star of the show will be that expansion and just kind of how the whole feature set works together. As of recording, the bag comes in 2 color options. Now, the size of 30 liters that can expand to 38 liters really gives you a lot of packing versatility, especially when you're traveling. Now, Bellroy says this is a champion daily workhorse, which for me is a little strange because 30 liters for an everyday carry bag is quite large, but it also doesn't mean that it is. Margaret, what's your EDC now? How big? 28. So Margaret uses a 28 liter backpack. You wouldn't catch me dead wearing a bag that big, but it really just depends on how much you carry. And then 38 liters is a really great travel size. This bag has a height of around 20 inches. It's got a width of around 14 inches, 7 inches base depth unexpanded, and just under 9 inches base depth when it is expanded. Now, the weight of a travel bag is extremely important in these challenging travel times. And wow, really impressive. For a 38 liter bag, we got 3 pounds on scale number 1. Indeed, it does concur at 3 pounds. It's a lovely liters to weight ratio. This is the bag when it's empty. And this is the bag when it's fully packed out and worn on the Nomads Nation team. For reference, I'm 5'8" and Margaret is 5'2", and we're gonna pack out the bag throughout the entire review so you can see exactly what it fits. Bellroy's new warranty covers bags for up to 6 years. And for all that, this bag currently runs around $350 US. And if at any point in this review, you are ready to join Team Bellroy and get an awesome, lightweight, expandable travel backpack in your hands, and you're gonna make a purchase or wanna find out more information, we do ask that you do so using the first link in the description below. Reason being, that link makes sure that you get the best price, and we oftentimes have discount codes. But that link also helps support the Nomads Nation YouTube channel and team so we can keep making the best gear reviews on the web. Thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about the front of the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. And I gotta say, if you're looking for a good looking bag, that's what Bellroy does better than most. It's a classy silhouette with some really minimal branding, but a lot of the beauty of this bag is really when you start to open it up. The primary fabric is a blend, 90% of which is polyester. Polyester is oftentimes seen as like a cheap backpack fabric, but I think this proves that it's not cheap. Just sort of, that's the way that it's been branded because nylon has sort of like come through with a vengeance to be like the new backpack like fabric of choice because it's definitely more abrasion resistant. But polyester can look just as beautiful and can be just as expensive depending on, where the polyester comes from, how it's weaved, woven. And polyester has a tendency to be more weather resistant than nylon does. So kind of pros and cons for both. Bellroy's branding at the bottom right here, super subtle. Love just how clean this panel is, and it leads to the northernmost point to this drop-in pocket, which again, clean, beautiful. Bellroy, their internal fabric game. And just their design is gorgeous. And look at this, like now they're using like this, I've never seen this fabric before in this combo. I'm a little bit of a bag fanboy, and I just love how Bellroy puts these things together. Don't get me wrong, I'm not gonna completely fanboy out in this bag. There's some things about it that you need to be aware of that might not work for you. But this is beautiful. Inside this pocket, we have a key leash, 2 lining pockets, one of which has 2 internal pen sleeves, a zippered pocket here, and some decent depth. It doesn't run down to the bottom of the bag, it stops right where the logo is. Top drop pockets like these can be quite versatile in terms of what they can carry. Know your place chapstick. Keys on the key leash. I don't love the location of this. It's not the easiest key leash to grab, like when you swing the bag around, but it can allow you to pop the keys right on there. We'll go ahead and throw some gum in there, some meds as well. Pocket's got some beefiness to it, so larger bits of gear can fit in there as well. Inside this pocket, we got the pen sleeve. This is where the chapstick goes. Hope you learned your lesson. You'll never escape. And then we'll go ahead and throw a wallet in there as well. Could be a good spot for a passport and a boarding pass. Zippered pocket, I'm gonna throw my AirPods and some emergency tissues. Love, love, love this fabric. Feels like it's double bonded, it's very thick. There's not really any elasticity to it, maybe a little bit side to side, but not top to bottom. But it just feels lovely. It's one of those things that makes you feel like, ah, 350 USD, it's worth it. But is it? I haven't decided yet. And then at the bottom, because you got that extra space, good spot for a book, over the head headphones, or for those travel days, or like winter in Hong Kong, it could be hot and then cold. Want to keep your jacket easily accessible. Great spot for that as well. Overall, I'm fanboying on the front of this bag, but will the middle be the same? Let's find out. Let's jump in the middle of the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. On the bottom, we have this sort of panel here, which I assume would have some sort of zipper or handle, and it has none of the above. I have no idea what your purpose is. We're perplexed. I don't know. Margaret doesn't know. If you have any ideas what the hell this is for, let us know in the comments below. Side handle, pretty nice. This fabric is like nylon webbing you'd find on seatbelts. Decent grabbing space to it. Good reinforced stitching. It's not the beefiest handle for a travel bag that I've ever seen, but it gets the job done. Now here we're gonna have a feature that might be a bit more controversial, which is a side pocket that is ideal for a water bottle. You can fit other things in there like an umbrella or even a phone, but primarily it will be used for water bottles, and we'll test out, well, it fits water bottles when we pack the bag out in about 45 seconds. Getting into the main compartment, you can see that the top drop pocket, the main compartment, and the laptop sleeve are all protected with YKK PU coated zippers. The PU coating ensures additional weather resistance and gives the bag a sleeker look, but these PU coated zippers can peel over time. Not always. It varies. No guarantee, but you should definitely be aware of that. Inside the main compartment, we got some organization. This lining pocket right here is for the laptop compartment, which we'll talk about in the next section. Let's go ahead and pack this bag out. So at 30 liters, you can use it for everyday carry if you want, or it can be a light travel bag. So I have a large packing cube from Air. I'm gonna put it underneath the internal compression. You can see this is used to keep this in place. Now, an internal compression strap like this is quite nifty because you can actually leave the packing cubes at home. In essence, this allows you to kind of have an internal packing cube. On the top, we can put a tech pouch. This is the Alpaca Vertex Mini. We got a side pocket here with some harsh mesh. It's a non-stretchy, sort of a plasticky mesh. Not my favorite mesh, but could be a good spot for a power brick charger. Are you gonna fit? Oh, it's a perfect fit, meant to be. On the flip side, we've got the same mesh on these two pockets, which again, this mesh is a pro and a con. It's not stretchy. I don't love the feel of it. It's very sharp, but if it stretches, it might lose its elasticity and kind of look like crap over time, depending on how you pack the bag out. On the bottom pocket, I'm gonna throw an adapter, a selfie stick, and an umbrella. And I like what Bellroy has done here, where each pocket has its own colored lining in the background, which for me, kind of like, just the way my dumb brain could work sometimes. It just kind of helps connect the dots a little bit. I'm like, the white section has this and the blue section has that. And for me, the white section is gonna have my favorite book of all time. Beautiful. And I'm gonna say the way that this bag is organized, it doesn't feel like an everyday carry bag. Margaret, is this like an everyday carry sort of a setup in a bag to you? No, so it can be used that way, don't get me wrong. Everyday carry bags typically have different like pocket configurations that are all about like quicker access and just like your daily essentials. This just screams travel bag to me, which is perfectly fine because it's like light travel at 30 liters, or when you got that longer trip, you go ahead and undo this expansion zipper and you go to 38 liters. This expansion gusset utilizes a YKK zipper, and you can see we can go and give the bag an increased depth of around 2 inches. But here's one of the negative things about expansion gussets is they just kind of look bad. You know, like you got these dual zippers now, just kind of flapping all over the place, and this zipper's hanging out in the middle, and this gusset, you're like, why do you exist? And it's fine, function over form, but you are gonna take away some of the sexification of this bag when you do go into 38 liter mode. But that function when you're traveling is fantastic because you can see here where this packing cube was sort of at the top, now we've got some extra space to play with. So just to give you an idea, if you want to throw some shoes in there, smaller packing cube, and a day pack, I don't know if it's gonna fit. We're really pushing the bag to its limits, but I think it will. Oh. So one thing that's great about a lightweight travel bag is there's no padding in there, which means it's not always gonna look as sexified, but it gives it extra malleability and packing space. We're really pushing the packing space to its limits. But that's what these tests are for. So it took a minute to kind of get it all closed, but you know, this is why YouTube pays us the big bucks. Am I right? Just kidding, YouTube doesn't pay us really anything. So if you like this video, please hit the like button. It helps us. Really appreciate that. And now we're in fully expanded mode, but let's talk about the water bottle holder, which, like I said, could just make a good side pocket in general. I got an iPhone 13, so if you want quick access to your phone, you can go ahead and pop that in there. Easy to grab. And these pockets are great for water bottle holders in some ways, but not great in other ways. The way that they're great is they're very sleek and streamlined, right? So when you're running around the airport with this bag, you don't have like a clunky water bottle on the side, catching on things and like hitting babies in the face. You don't want to hit babies in the face. Not recommended. So that sleekness is a pro. On the con side, the capacity of this pocket is eating into the main compartment. So depending on how full that main compartment is will compromise the water bottle holdage space. Now you can see on this side, I didn't overly pack out the bag, so we're able to get the water bottle in there, no problemo. But if you're really putting stuff on the sides, it will compromise packing space. These spots are just gonna be competing with each other for space. And also, it decreases the versatility of water bottle that you can fit, as to where the 24-ounce Columbia was fine, but this 1 liter Yeti probably ain't gonna happen. No, not gonna happen. Versus if it was just a sleeve, you can kind of stick it in there and more versatility. You get it. But one nice thing about the bag is it does have a bit of a flat bottom, so if it's packed out correctly, it will self-stand. But it needs to be packed out the right way, or else the malleable structure of the design will force the bag to collapse. What do you think about expansion? Is it like worth that sort of gussety, zippery, weirdy looking trade-off? Would you prefer something cleaner, 2 bags for 2 different styles of trips? Or do you prefer the versatility of this? Let me know your thoughts on the expansion gusset in the comments below. Moving on, let's talk about the back of the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. Starting with the laptop compartment, we got this guy right here, moon shape opening, YKK PU coated zipper protection. Also should be noted, I like Bellroy's zipper pullers, fake leather, classy design, super easy, very satisfying. Now we really packed the bag out, so laptop access is compromised. You can see right here, we've got this divider, which gives you access to this sort of like top loading section, which is great for bulkier tech gear, right? So I've got a travel adapter / laptop charger, and you can go ahead and throw that in there with the adapter itself. And then behind it, you got this little RFID protected sleeve, but it is a good spot potentially for your cables. Or in theory, your passport, which is why the RFID protection is in there. But otherwise, you can pop cables in there. And then you sort of have your laptop gear all organized in this top pocket area. But now let's talk about the actual laptop compartment itself. It should be noted though, like this pocket's a little strange because the design, and I'm actually gonna go into 30 liter mode so we can get a better idea. You can see on this side that this is the back end of that pocket and it's jetting into the main compartment. We've got like this loosey-goosey fabricness, and you can see actually that this little hole can actually reach on through. So like the design sort of conflicts with each other a little bit, not terribly so, but the loosey-goosiness of this just kind of makes it a little bit harder to manage the more packed out the bag actually is. Got a cutout of a 16-inch MacBook Pro. You can see we can slide that in there pretty nicely. Ew. Not, maybe a little, yeah, that's as, you can see we got the corners poking out ever so slightly, but it fits, it definitely fits. That's as big as you're gonna wanna go. 17 inches, seek elsewhere. Actually, we have a roundup for the best backpacks for 17-inch laptops, which you can watch above. The laptop compartment too, we got a little bit of a false bottom, not much though. Yeah, for sure, okay, yeah, we're about right here. So if you drop the bag with your laptop in there, it's going to be extra protected. And you got a little security zipper guy right here, so you can pop the zipper through just as a little theft deterrent to keep your laptop a little extra safe. Top handle, not crazy about it. Difficult to access. You can kind of like pull it out like this and then it's more accessible. Because the whole thing with a top handle is usually they're on the top of a bag, right? So it's easy to grab when you're traveling, you know, you're moving fast. It's like, oh crap, the plane's boarding, honey, and where's my top handle? So, you know, little gripes, but as a modern traveler, we're spoiled with great products. And this is one of those things where I just prefer it to be a bit more accessible. Either give me some more slack here or put it at the top here. Let's talk luggage pass-through. This is a nice luggage pass-through holder. It checks a lot of boxes as to where it feels very sturdy, and it allows you to carry the bag this way on the suitcase. And the luggage pass-through holder is a little bit lower on the bag. It's not like dead center, right? I take that part back. But it is strong, reinforced stitching on either side, and allows you to carry your bag upright, which, wow, God, you are beautiful when you're not expanded. But let's talk about comfort, because comfort has always been a point of criticism that I personally had when it comes to Bellroy bags. The comfort comes down to two things: shoulder straps and the back panel. Now for a bag this size, a lot of us like load lifters on the bag. Load lifters allow you to sort of stabilize the shoulder straps, redistribute the weight to the front, and take off this from the lower back. This bag does not have that, which at 30 liters is okay. At 38 liters though, not my favorite. But we do have a sternum strap, which is very easy to adjust, which is very nice. You can kind of fit it to your torso's requirements. Same thing with the shoulder straps, easy to adjust. The shoulder straps got these little thumb loops, which make it easier to do one of those. And dangle stoppers, which accomplish two things. One, they stop the dangle, and two, they keep this little guy off the streets. Find a job, dude. What do you do with your life? Just kidding, he's fighting the good fight. Thank you for your work. We'll see you in the next video. With the comfort, big fan of the shoulder strap. I wasn't gonna like this tapering. Notice how Bellroy has tapered these shoulder straps versus like, see this Tom Talk backpack where you got these beefy travel shoulder straps and it doesn't really taper down much, right? And the problem with tapered shoulder straps is they look sexy. They can kind of cut into you a little bit because, you know, there's not more of this, there's less of this. You get what I'm saying? But the padding on these shoulder straps is so chunkalicious that it actually didn't bother me at all. You'll notice we have an intense amount of padding here. This is definitely like the mattress experience I prefer on my backpacks that you see similarly done with brands like Air and Tortuga. But my one point of criticism with the comfort of this bag is gonna be with the lower back panel. Upper back panel, fine. But do notice how we have a bit of curvature on this back panel where it starts like this and then moves its way around like that, which I'm personally not a huge fan of because it makes the bottom just kind of feel a little bit more noticeable on the lower back region. Not uncomfortable, but noticeable. Better when the bag's packed out. But when I was carrying this bag around earlier, half packed out, I didn't like the way that it felt. It was just like, there, it's still kind of there. I usually like a nice flat panel. We got some curvature going on right here, which is it's throwing me off a little bit. But the good news is that the curvature is well padded. It is well ventilated. And that aside, quite a comfortable wear. One final note with the back, we have metal hardware at the bottom of the straps, which I think it's gonna be okay. The reason I'm not sure is because I've read every comment that's ever been placed on this channel and responded 90% of them, 95%. And old Bellroy bags would have this metal hardware and we'd get some slippage happening over time. Now Bellroy is aware of these complaints, so I would assume that if they're utilizing this metal hardware, they must have fixed the problem, but I got some maybe some PTSD when it comes to that. For those reasons, I usually prefer plastic hardware at the bottom just because I know it's always gonna work. But yeah, that's it, my rant's over. And if you're like, dude, the rant's over? I want more, you should rant more. I love this gear and travel and everyday carry stuff. Well, if that's the case, I gotta tell you, you right now are in good company. Here at Nomads Nation, we are also obsessed with everyday carry and travel gear. And so much so that you gotta know, we don't just do epic bag and gear reviews here on our YouTube channel, we take it even a step further on the Nomads Nation newsletter. In that newsletter, I'm like your reporter on the front lines, telling you about the best gear, travel tips, EDC hacks, limited edition collabs, community events, and everything in between. So if you wanna keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in this incredible community, I mean, there's seriously like a revolution happening right now with all this amazing EDC and travel gear, then you're gonna wanna sign up to the Nomads Nation newsletter, which I really hope you do, and I hope to see you in your inbox. Let's talk about the pros and the cons of the Bellroy Transit Travel Pack Pro. Pro number one is Bellroy's gorgeous aesthetic. Pro number two is going to be the chunkalicious shoulder straps. And pro number three is going to be that versatility of having a 30-liter bag that can expand to 38 liters. But are the cons? I got three. Con number one, the any Audi water bottle holder is not gonna be for everyone. Con number two is I didn't love that sort of curvature of the back panel. And con number three, I do think at 350 USD, it's a little expensive for what you're getting. Not terribly so, definitely a bit pricey. But maybe you disagree with me. And if so, I totally get it. This bag is lovely. And just a reminder, if you are gonna make a purchase or you wanna find out more information, we highly recommend that you do so with the first link in the description, as that's where you can get the best prices, and that's where we always put our discount code, so be sure to check it out. But in case you're not quite sold, let's talk about some alternative recommendations for bags that might better suit your needs. Alternative recommendation number one is gonna be the Tortuga Expandable Travel Backpack. Great pick for you if you're looking for an expandable travel backpack, but you want something just a little bit different. Tortuga is a little bit more function over form in a lot of ways, but you are getting increased functionality. Comes in at a little bit lower of a price point without sacrificing any premiumness to the bag. And alternative recommendation number two is going to be the Nomatic Travel Pack. Again, great expandable backpack. It goes from 20 liters to 30 liters, but it's a great option for you if you are looking for a nice bag that's really good for a business trip. I think that The Bellroy look is more casual, business friendly, but the Nomatic look is more like traditional business friendly. It's kind of like a briefcase with 2 straps. Both bags are super popular in this crazy, awesome carry community of ours. And to learn more about either, just go ahead and watch these videos right here. If you got any questions about any bags, be sure to let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Aaron, this is Nomads Nation, and we'll catch you next time.